Welcome back to Daytime, presented by California Closets. No, my hair did not grow overnight. The man responsible for my new long tresses is Brandon Wagner from Tribeca Salon, and he joins us now. Hi, Brandon.
Hey, Cyndi, how do you feel with them?
I love them. Thank
It's
you.
nice to have a whole big new head of hair, isn't it?
It's great. I didn't want to add a lot of length, but I did want to add some fullness to my hair. So you have done this with extensions. So we
Yeah,
brought
it's
the
great.
video camera to Tribeca Salon to kind of document how you did this. And let's just start from the top. First of all, I showed up with clean hair, but no conditioner in it.
Exactly, yeah. So I asked you to just clarify your hair, but don't put any conditioner on there because we don't want anything to block the adhesive. Because specifically with you, we put in tape-ins, and that's one specific style of extensions. There's many different styles, but I felt that tape-in was the best for you for the fact that they're nice and flat. They distribute the weight across a pretty broad section of the hair, so there's less tension and less chance for damage with those.
Well, I was going to say, why am I a good candidate for tape-ins rather than the beads or the sewing that you do? There, what are three or four different kinds that you offer?
Well, yeah, sew-ins. Yeah, there's so many different types of extensions. Pretty much right now, the beaded extensions are becoming super popular. The main reason why is because there's no adhesive. But the thing is, you feel them. You know, you definitely feel the beads across the back of your head. You had even mentioned a little bit earlier that sometimes it's difficult to sleep when you have the beaded extensions. Traditional old beads where they put individual strands in with the bead, those are kind of like out of favor now because they actually did cause a lot of damage. So basically what it is that the tape-ins are nice because they're very flat. And then also they can wear for about, say, 2-3 months, depending on how you treat them. And then you just retape the hair and you can reuse them again for up to a year or so, depending on the quality of the hair that you buy.
This must be really super adhesive because I'm thinking with washing my hair and brushing my hair, how am I not going to be combing these out or washing these out?
Well, if you treat them the correct way, definitely the adhesive is very strong. It's same adhesive that they use during surgery to actually stitch you up, you know, the adhesive that they use. So it is a very, very strong adhesive. It can get wet. The only thing you want to do is you want to make sure that there's no oils going on there. So that's why I mentioned to you, if we can shampoo your hair, but not condition the roots. That's the most important thing because you don't want to get anything that's oily onto the new growth. So that being said, if you were an oilier client, like get a lot of natural oil coming out of your scalp, this wouldn't be the best system for you. Maybe doing the sewn in would be better for you.
Now, the beauty of these extensions, it's human hair, first of all, and you can dye it to match whatever you need to match, right? And that's what you did for me because this honestly looks like it's growing out of my head.
Yeah. Well, okay, to be honest, this is actually from the swatch that we actually purchased from the company. I didn't have to do any alteration on that, but you can. And depending on the quality of the hair that you buy, you can either buy hair that's pre-colored, or if you want to spend some extra money, you can actually buy European standard hair that literally, if you are blonde, you're actually buying the hair from a blonde woman from Europe. If you want to spend the money. Now that's getting into a much higher price point, but you could actually buy virgin blonde hair if you wanted to. So that hair is treated, of course. You know, it probably started off with somebody who had darker hair. They lighten it, they sanitize it, sometimes even perm it. And then they, you know, treat it with a starch coating, believe it or not, so it stays in the package without knotting up. And then we pop it in your hair in one of the many ways that we do extensions. So like in your case, tape-ins, or you do the beaded, or whatever you want to do.
And when it comes to styling, you still have to treat this hair just as if it's coming out of your own head, right? So before I put a hot styling product on this, what do you recommend I put on these extensions so they don't get damaged?
Okay, so the reality is that hair has been highly processed already. So you have to treat it as if it's been, you know, bleach blonde. Okay, so that being said, you're going to use a gentle shampoo, of course. You're going to make sure that the conditioner that you put on your ends actually is quite conditioning because you want to make sure that you detangle the hair so you don't have any knots. Because knots and extensions can be a really devastating thing because if you ignore knots in the back of your head, they can actually become like a dreadlock. And we've seen that several times when people were not trained in how to take care of their extensions at home because you need to make sure that all those knots are taken out every single day. So one thing that you do that's great is you sleep on a silk pillowcase. And that's one of the best things that you could possibly do. So you want to make sure that, of course, like we talked about, shampoo, but no conditioner on the scalp. Then if you don't go to bed wet, make sure that your hair is completely dry. Use a silk pillowcase and make sure that you detangle it every morning.
And use a wide tooth comb. Don't use something with...
Yeah, I prefer, you know, there's extension brushes out there. Definitely, they have closed loops on them. Those are great because since it's a closed loop, it actually just kind of glances over the tape or the bond. They don't really detangle that great though. It takes a little bit longer to detangle, and a lot of people are lazy. So I like a wide tooth comb, just because a wide tooth comb you can actually go through several times and just detangle without pulling out any of the bonds.
Let's talk about the importance of then cutting the extensions once that you put them in someone's hair.
Well, when we put hair in, especially we buy a 22-inch weft of hair, I like leaving it long. Just for, even if it's just like for a day or so, just fun, be Godiva, Lady Godiva or whatever. But the thing is, it's got to look realistic. That's the one thing, is that when you're walking around and you see somebody with bad extensions, you can tell because there's a disconnection. So first of all, your length was perfect, right? Your length was just below the shoulder.
We have 30 seconds left. Go ahead.
Oh, sure. But your hair was perfect length for incorporating that length of hair in. But we had to incorporate the front face framing and layer it out and texturize it so it actually blended in with your own hair.
Brandon Wagner, thank you very much. I love it. And I hope I can keep these in for at least 3 or 4 months.
Totally. You'll be good. You'll be good.
Brandon Wagner from Tribeca
All right, thank
Salon.
You, Cyndi.
Thank you. We'll be right
Thank
back
you.
with more daytime, so stick around.